The self-improvement space is changing. The last half a decade, it's all been focused on masculinity. Some good, some bad, with all things. But self-improvement in itself, the movement itself has helped me a lot. But other areas I believe to be quite toxic and disappointing. I think self-improvement YouTubers have the tendency to be quite deluded with their actions and their beliefs. There's a few in particular, which I'm not going to name because that's not what I'm about here, but there's this mindset that they are the answer. Making videos on masculinity and big, broad topics, like they have all the answers when they're usually not much older than me. I've made a few videos on masculinity, but I never claim to know the full picture, the answers to that. A topic that philosophers and great men have spent their whole life studying. I don't know fully. I have an inkling. I have an understanding of what I think it means to be a man. But I can't give you the full answer to that because that's for you to decide. That's for you to figure out in your life. Self-improvement itself has been this trend in the last half a decade to be very inwards, to be a lone wolf, to be a sigma. That's the cringiest shit I've ever heard, man. Some men want to lead cults so that they are never challenged. They claim to always be real with their bros. They claim to always be honest, to give criticism and tell you how it is, but if you do the same to them, they are just a hater. Cult-like followings mean there are no growth. Some men are wrapped up in their own ego. Maybe they started well. And I've seen this. There are a few YouTubers you might even know of. They started well with good intentions, but then they got very successful. And they went back on a few of their morals, a few of their statements in the past, which is fine. You're allowed to change your mind. But they did it for money. And they did it in the name of success. And that's what's funny is those certain men that I'm talking about would have talked down on these types of men in the past. When it happens to them, pray it never happens to me. It's almost like they sold their soul. Self-improvement YouTubers are deluded because they want to feel better than everyone else. And that inherently is not improvement. You cannot improve yourself without people. Do you understand? Self-improvement can only go so far. It is sometimes good to lock yourself away and meditate, walk with nature, all that stuff. It's good stuff. But the longer you are away from people, the longer you're not socializing, and the longer you're not taking in outside interference. And that is how you grow the most, man. Because if everything always comes from within here, you're going to become an incel. Sometimes it is nice to say fuck the world and become this lone wolf, but not for long, Chief. Because if it is for too long, you're going to forget what it's like to be around people, to enjoy it. And you're going to become almost repulsive. Self-improvement YouTubers are deluded because they think they have all the answers, and that is, quite frankly, not true. They started off learning. They've taken basic information, which sometimes I do. They relay it to their followers. It helps a few people, and then they think they are the Messiah. They think they have all the answers and they know everything. And they suddenly stop adopting this student mindset that got them that success simply because they were right about a few things. Listen, I think I've got a great way of words when I'm on camera. I think some things I'm right about, but I have no idea in so many fields, and I'm learning with you, Chief. This is not a self-improvement. I am not a self-improvement YouTuber. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy on here spreading some positive vibes. And I'm growing with you. This is a dual journey, if you will. But I hate this deluded separation between content creator and watcher, where it's like, I am the fucking leader, I'm the messiah. And look, leaders are good, we need good leaders. I want to be that one day, I just don't have the acceptance to call myself that now because I don't think I've earned that. But they believe there's this pecking order, that they are above everyone just because they have this knowledge. That is not self-improvement, that is not leadership, that is dictatorship, that is cult-like, and that is wrong. There's one YouTuber in particular that has recently come out and claimed that anyone that doesn't follow him, and this is related to the masculinity sphere, which by the way is dying at the moment. Not masculinity in itself, I mean all the masculinity YouTubers. I think everyone's just sick of debating it and hearing about it, because we got to the point of realising that no one really knows what they're talking about. There's basic things that are good for being a man, like stoicism and all this stuff. But when it comes to the well-rounded picture, hardly anyone knows, because it's a lifetime of debate. So just be a good man, right? But there's this particular YouTuber who I used to follow, and he used to do a lot of good. But now he's come out and said that anyone that doesn't follow him and does exactly what he says is a weak man. Every man in the world apart from his followers, his cult members, are weak. What sort of bullshit is that? That is not only the most arrogant thing I've ever heard, but it's complete delusion. To even suggest that you are the only one that has the answers, what you're like the Messiah. You're not. You're a deluded egomaniac who is painfully insecure and should not be running the lives of men. You have some intelligence, but your character is failing you. And that's all that's going to matter in the end. This guy used to comment on people acting like a degenerate, but he has become one himself. And I've made videos, I think I made a video last week about this. Just because you're successful does not mean it's okay. Because a lot of these self-improvement YouTubers, they'll justify their hedonism, their degeneracy by saying, look at how successful I am, it's okay because I'm the one with the money. Just because you have money does not mean you're a good person. Does not mean it's okay. Success does not equal being a good person. Why am I making this video? It's because you need to be careful, Chief, because there are a lot of false information out there. There's a lot of people pretending they know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people that know what they're talking about, but have the wrong intentions. I'm not telling you that I know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to be real with you. From day one, I'll always be that. And if I ever even slightly go into these mindsets that some of these YouTubers have, I want you to hold me accountable, because then I'd have lost my soul. I'm not going to stay the same, and I might change my mind too. People always change their mind, but I will never be so concrete about something, acting like it is the only way and that every other way of life is completely wrong. That's the difference. Not because I'm better, just because I'm real. That's it. Chief, be careful what you watch, but just remember that the main part of self-improvement is realising it's about improving yourself, so it really just comes from within to be the most authentic version of yourself. Just be good. Say less. Do more. See you tomorrow.